Hello. It's been a while since I did a video, so I wanted to do one a little bit after 3 months post-op. I had a simple metoidioplasty done with Dr. Christine McGinn in Pennsylvania on February 22nd, so it's been about 3 months and 2 weeks-ish. Uh, and I would say overall I'm very happy with my results. I had a simple metoidioplasty done without any sort of urethral lengthening, testicular implants, anything like that. It was just more like the straightforward cutting of ligaments and moving some of the skin around, so that like I have a penis that's now more cylindrical versus with skin coming off of it. Um, I have increased length as a result of the surgery, as well as increased girth. I am happier. I'm much more happy with the shape that I have now, and the aesthetic. Um, I like that she sutured like underneath my dick up until my urethral opening, so it's a little bit more scrotum-like, and my urination wasn't impacted in any way. Um, Frontal penetration, which I do, wasn't impacted in any way. Um, Sensation is fine. It's changed a little bit in terms of where exactly feels more sensitive, and then obviously the way that I do things has changed and experience things have changed. I'm going to be doing a video right after this one that is more explicitly about sexual topics. So just more focusing on that. Let's see, other things. There's one place, kind of under like the place I was just talking about underneath my penis and between, my dick and the urethral opening, that is still, I think there's probably some scar tissue there, like more underneath the skin, that is still a little bit tough. So if you put pressure on it, it doesn't really feel great. That sort of sensation was a more intense, more close to surgery. Like after enough time had passed where I could actually you know experiment a little more and touch and see how things were healing up and feeling and things like that. Um, but even between the 2 month marker to now, that's made an improvement. So I'm hopeful that over time, hopefully that'll kind of loosen up a little bit more. Because once in a while, if I'm engaging in sexual activity, that'll kind of hurt. Not like significantly. It's not like, oh my god, but it's just a little bit. It's like eh. Um, and so yeah, overall, I'm really happy about it. The one thing that I do want to change is, well, there's one place that I ended up with something that I am assuming is, I think it's probably like a keloid, so like a little overgrowth of tissue. It's not huge, it's not obnoxious, it's not like super ugly, it's just a random bump under my head. And it's sensitive and doesn't bother me enough to want to do anything about it. Initially, like right after surgery, I noticed that there was a bump there and I didn't know if it was going to get bigger, if it was going to bother me, but things are fine now. But keloiding is something that I knew might be a factor, and again, I'm not positive that's what this is, but I'm assuming that it probably is. But this wasn't a really big deal in my case. But the other thing is repositioning. So, sorry, my bunny's playing around. So right now, I didn't have any repositioning done. Typically what's done is, like, say this is your dick, and then you make like a Y kind of incision, there you go, like that, and then so make that incision and then move things up on the body so it will go more towards your head. I mean, obviously not up here, but like down there. Um, so things are a little bit less hidden. There's more exposure and whatnot, and just basically repositioning it, which is different from a mons resection, which is more of an incision is made all the way across the abdomen. A lot of times there'll be liposuction on your mons pubis, so like the kind of fatty deposit that's right over your pubic bone, and that can help with in terms of protrusions. And so I'm not talking about mons resection because I don't really need one of those. I just want to move it up a little bit, and I was under the impression that it was going to be included with surgery, that I would come back in 2 or 3 months or whatever, and would have that done in the office. But I misunderstood, and it is not included, and so it would be another $4,300 to do it if I did it in surgery. And doing it in the office was an option for $1,000, but Dr. McGinn kind of was afraid of that because when she saw me, like, I was so sensitive, and part of that might be having fibromyalgia, and so she was just worried about kind of how that would go, because I would have to be very, very still, obviously, and she really would have to crank on it. I mean, you're kind of moving everything up and sewing it there and things like that. So even though there's numbing there, I mean, you can still feel some stuff. And I don't know exactly what it would feel like, and she wasn't able to really describe that too much to me because she hasn't had that particular procedure done, and everyone's different, and so who knows how it would feel to me personally. So I decided that if I'm going to do it, which I hope to in the future, I would opt to do it under anesthesia, which is a really minor procedure, so I'm not super worried about complications at all. So other than that, which I'd like to have done again to help with like protrusions, and right now I kind of have to part the seas a little bit for certain things. Other than that, I'm really happy with my results. I had a good experience. Didn't really have, I haven't really experienced complications up to this point, other than like I had a lot of bruising, but that's not at all unusual or problematic. So would I do it again? Yes, I definitely would. So hopefully that answers some of the questions that people had. If you have any more, feel free to ask below. Thanks.